Alright, hello everybody. I'm going to create some videos here to show you how to make the different types of isometric shapes that I put up here on your assignment. So this is the first one. I'm doing number 1, which is this guy right here. I'm going to do this one first. So again, if you remember, I look at the grid spacing down here. It's 0.5 inches for every square. So you count by the square. So like this one square right here is 0.5. So 2 of them would be 1. 4 would be 2, 3 would be 3, and then so this length of this guy right here is 3.5 inches, and the height is 2.5 inches. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start off here. Again, this is the first front page on Onshape when you log in. So I'm going to create a new document. Okay. I'm going to title this one ISO 1 because it's number 1. Okay. All right, loading. All right, so again, this is what it looks like when you log in, or you open up the new file, and just like we talked about in class, first thing you need to do is create a sketch. Okay, now I want you to pick a plane to sketch on. And like I talked about earlier, I always like sketching on the front face here. It just makes it a little bit easier. And once you click on the front, that's where the sketch is going to go. And I'm going to click on my navigation cube over here and click front. That way I'm looking at it two-dimensionally because it's a bit easier, I think, to sketch something two-dimensionally when you see two-dimensionally. So to create that, the ISO number 1, I think it's easier to start by making an L shape and then going from there. So I'm going to use the line tool, and I'm going to just click here anywhere in the screen to start. So again, with the line tool, you click the first point to start the line, and then you want to go wherever you want it to go. I always like to make sure it's nice straight up and down, straight vertical, and it kind of snaps into place when you do that. So I'm just going to click one time, and that sets the line. And now it's asking you to dimension that line. And for this one, this is the height of it. So that is 2.5. The auto or the default unit is inches, so I'm just going to type in 2.5 and it's going to read inches. I'm going to enter. So it makes my line 2.5 inches. And now I'm going to go to the right here to make my L shape. I'm going to click again. That length is 3.5. All right, so now I got like an L that's 2.5 by 3.5. And I'm going to complete this shape. So from here, I'm going to go straight up. And the height of it is 1. So I'm going to click. Then type in 1, then go over. The distance of this line is 2.5. I'm going to click and type in 2.5, go straight up, and then I could click and type in the line again, but if I want to, I can go over to this point, then go straight to the right, and you can see the dotted lines. It lines up towards the same height. So I'm going to click there, and then I'm going to click on that dot there to close the shape. And now I have an enclosed shape for this object. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to extrude it to make it a solid object. Okay, so I'm going to click on extrude. Again, I like extruding like 3-dimensionally so I can see it. And the depth of this extrusion is 2.5 inches. So I'm going to type in 2.5, hit enter. Okay, and then either hit enter again, or you can click on the green check, and it shows your solid object now. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to work on creating these slots right here. And there's little slots that are kind of cut out of the object. All right, so I got my measurements down. I know this one here is I got a height of 0.5 with a depth of 1.5, and it goes all the way through the part. So to do that, I'm going to create a sketch on this face right here. Okay, so it highlights it. I'm on that sketch now, on that face now, and I'm going to change my view to right. So I'm looking at it two-dimensionally. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the rectangle tool. Okay, I'm going to use a corner rectangle, and I'm going to start at the top here. So I know that slot is at the top of this line. So when I see the top, it turns yellow here. So I know I want to be up there. So I'm going to click once to start my rectangle, and then I know it wants to be somewhere over here. So I'm just going to click one more time to set it. And now it's asking for the dimensions. So I know the length of it is 1.5. Okay, hit enter and it takes it down to the height of that measurement, which is 0.5. Okay, so now I have a rectangle that is 0.5 by 1.5. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to dimension the location of this rectangle. I know it should be right in the middle here, and it should be even on both sides. So I'm going to go to dimension. I'm going to click on this line here, and then the side of my shape. Once I do that, it's dimensioning between these 2 points here. So I can take my cursor up and click one time to set the dimension. And now I want to record my dimension, which is 0.5. And I'm going to hit enter. And if you noticed, it moved my rectangle over. So now it is centered in the middle of the shape here, and it's 0.5 on both sides. All right, from there, I'm going to extrude that. Again, I'm going to look at it diagonally. And if you look at it, okay, right now it is on add. So it looks like it is adding more onto this object. I do not want it to do that. I want to click on remove. And now it's cutting into my object, removing that shape. So I'm going to click on remove, and the depth is 1 inch, which is as far as we need it to go, or you could change it to through all. Either one will work. So I'm going to just change mine to through all so it knows it goes all the way through. And I'm going to click the green check. And there's my top shape cut out now. So now we want to do the one down here. Okay, so again, it's in the middle of the shape. It is 1.5 long by 0.5. Okay, so I'm going to sketch on this face right here. And now I'm going to look at it from the top view. And I'm going to do the same thing I did last time. I'm going to do my corner rectangle. I want to make sure I touch this line right here. Click and then move it out this way. So again, so that is asking me to do this measurement here. This measurement is 1.5. Enter. By 0.5. Enter. Okay, so now I get it again. I got a 1.5 by 0.5 rectangle here. Now I just want to add the dimension for the location of it. So again, I'm going to click on this far side along with this here for dimension. Click to set it, and that is going to be 1. So I type in 1 and hit enter, and then if you notice, it moves it to the middle here, and it is 1 on both sides. So once I'm done with that, I'm going to extrude. And again, it wants to add that rectangle. So I want to click on remove. And again, I'm going to change my end type to through all. Hit check. So now if you notice, that is the final thing we need to do with this object, and that makes it complete. Okay, so this is the ISO object number 1, fully complete. So I will see you on the next one that we do. That would be ISO number 2.